Guys, where is Bitcoin going? Is it going up? Is it going down? I see mixed opinions online. People say the bottom's in. People say we're just getting started. So we're going to have a look at the charts and see what we can see. There's a famous saying, if in doubt, zoom out. So I love to look at the weekly. It makes everything a lot simpler. We get trapped looking at the 15-minute, the daily, and, overall. Sometimes the price can just go sideways for months and you just get trapped into this. Are we going up? Are we going down? But you're just going sideways, right? So let's have a look at it. Now, I'm seeing some similarities from the last move, especially with the RSI, which might actually be a leading indicator in this current move. So this is back in September 24. So we had the buy signal from the SMC bot around 55k, and we went into this big move to the upside. What happens after you have a big move to the upside? What sort of move are you looking for? Usually it's for a chill out or a correction. Same thing happened here. We had this big move to the upside. Now, what do you see here? You see here on the legend on the SMC bot where it says yellow downtrend. We had this yellow candle flash to say, hey, we're getting a little bit frothy here. We might have a correction. We might go into a downtrend. And, great signal, because as soon as we had that yellow candle flash up, it was actually a great time to short and flip position into a more bearish pullback position, which of course made sense because, the price had just doubled in a very short amount of time, right? This is where we took longs. This is where I made my huge long. I think I made $250,000 here, which was life-changing to me. And, we took some profits, and I think we ended some shorts up here as well. So what happened after we had that yellow? We went into the downtrend. Now you see also we came up here to the resistance, and then we came down here to the support line. This green moving average here is the SMC weekly support line. In my opinion, it's the bull run trend line. And I think when we touch this, we should bounce aggressively until we don't, right? Until the trend is your friend until the end. When we break below this, it's going to act as resistance and, give us a potential bear market. So when we come down to this is our buy area. So this is where I was looking to take profits on my short positions and flip into long positions. So same here, we've had this yellow candle print on the weekly time frame on BTC, and we have to ask ourselves the question, are we now coming into a downtrend back to our support line? The same thing that happened the last time we got this yellow weekly close. Isn't it interesting? We had the yellow close here and we went into this downtrend, but we also came back to liquidate the shorts before coming to the downside. Notice here how we had the yellow weekly candle, we had this pullback, and then we came back to liquidate the shorts just before having the potential correction. Very, very interesting data. And, the next time I get this yellow candle, I'm probably going to either use less leverage, so we've got some room for a retest, or look to increase my short position when we come back and retest, because this would have been a great opportunity to add more money to a short. So what am I seeing on the RSI? So notice on the RSI when we had this yellow candle come up, the RSI was saying, look, mate, you're overbought on the weekly time frame. You're probably going to come down. So we had lots of confluence here, right? Whereas at resistance, this is why I was quite interested in shorts here. We had the yellow candle print, and then the RSI was also overbought and needed a cool down, and the RSI came down. Where are we now with the RSI? Same position, right? The RSI is again overbought here and has started to come down for a cool down. Now it's getting quite close to the bottom. So let's have a look at this last move. So you see how it rolled over here. It wasn't until here where we had this huge sell-off. So it wasn't until the RSI kind of got to the bottom and crossed. You see where the orange line and the blue line crossed was where you started to get this huge sell-off on Bitcoin. And people have already forgotten this move. Like they've already forgotten that this happened. The price went from 95k down to 80k. So a $15,000 move in one single weekly candle, and it happened twice as well. A 15k move in one single week, just as the RSI got to the bottom. So you could say the RSI came down like this, the blue started to cross over the orange, and it was when this cross happened that we had this 15k move. And that would be like, so where are we today? We're at 110,000. So that would be like BTC going down to 95k, which would take us down to our support line in one single week. So it'd be like going from 110k to 95k in a week. And I don't think many people are ready for that, right? All the long positions would get liquidated. A lot of bulls would flip bearish and get terrified. And it's actually those opportunities that can be, life changing. Just like the long position we took down here, right? Absolutely life changing. $250,000 in a few months is crazy. Off something that we could see, right? The RSI again was oversold. We were at support. Everyone was bearish. Everyone was losing their minds, and thinking Kamala was going to win the election, and then we went on to push up and have this rally. And sometimes BTC needs these flushes. You need to flush out the longs. You need to get people bearish in order to refuel the engine and actually try and push to the upside. Now, if we look at the last time we came down here, we were chopping here for a while, so it wasn't fast. We did come down here, and then we pushed up for a week. 2 weeks, came back down for 2 weeks, and then we rallied, and we had this kind of W breakout to the upside. So, it doesn't have to be a V-shaped recovery. Now, obviously, it could be a V-shaped recovery. If we do come down to this level, we could V-shape like this, and it could be aggressive, considering a lot of people are expecting a bullish Q4. Or we could come down here, we could retest for a few weeks, and then we could try and climb to the upside. It's a very easy trade because, if we break this line and it starts to act as resistance, the trend is your friend until the end, right? This would be the bear market scenario for me. So it's a very easy trade. Either we bounce here or we don't. So it's a straightforward setup. And I'm seeing a lot of patterns on the charts that indicate that we might see some sort of pull back to this trend line and a push to the upside. It would be really nice if we can get this flush, right? It would be really nice if we can get this flush. It would flush out a lot of the long positions, and it would bring altcoins down a lot. I mean, if we came down to 95k or even 98k or 100k, I think we'd probably see altcoins come down 50%. So a great opportunity there. I think we took some longs on altcoins here. We took some longs on altcoins here as well, and some of them went up 5x, 600%, 500%. So, it can be a life-changing opportunity. It can also be extremely risky, right? Because what if we come down here and we enter loads of long positions and and the market doesn't bounce? It would be very unlikely with the RSI at these oversold conditions on the weekly. And especially with the support line holding up, especially going into Q4. September is historically bearish as well. So we do have seasonality on our side, as well as the yellow candles, as well as the RSI. We do have seasonality on our side. I was disappointed that we couldn't push up to this orange level. So when we started to break that historic resistance on Bitcoin, I was looking at 130k for a rejection. But clearly it got front run and we started to have this sell-off prior. Where are we now on the smaller time frame? So that's the longer time frames. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly time frame. So on the smaller time frames, we had our green candles down here. So if you look at the legend, you see these bright green uptrend candles. So this kind of signifies that you might be going into an uptrend. So we went into this uptrend. These printed around 112,000, and then we went all the way up to 124,000. So really nice rally off that. We obviously had our buy signal, which came a little bit later on the SMC bot around 115k. And the trend is your friend, right? Until you break this resistance level, you see this green moving average here. This is your support line. And the trend is your friend until you break that. See how we came back and we retested it, and we just continued to move to the upside. We did have a little bit of a warning here on the yellow candle around 121,000 that, it's getting a bit frothy. And we came back, and then I guess we came back and liquidated the short positions, right? So we broke through this line here. We broke through this green support line here. And that's when we went into a downtrend. We had our sell signal from the SMC bot. And the trend is your friend until the end. So we are in a downtrend right now, even on the 4 hourly time frames. And when we come back, when you go into a downtrend and you come back and you retest this green line that now of course flipped red, notice how the background is flipped red as well. When you come back and test this, it's now resistance. So I'm always looking for short positions until the end. So this was a short position. We came back, we got rejected. We tried to get back to this line, this red line here. We got rejected. So that is a short position until proven otherwise. We did have another green candle flash up here at 112, saying that you might be getting some buy pressure here. And we did have a rally, actually. To be fair, it did go from 112 to 117. So you wouldn't have been too disappointed if you took a long position. Obviously stop loss here. And then we did climb over the 4 hourly, but it didn't last very long. And then within the day, you didn't get a daily candle close above this level, and then it became resistance again, right? So for me, until proven otherwise, every time we come back to this level, short opportunity, short opportunity, short opportunity. We tried to get back to it again here, and look, got rejected, short opportunity. And, you know, if you shorted here, it probably would have been 115 down to 108,000. So lovely trade. Again here, $118,000 down to the short here. 112, right? Phenomenal. And you probably would have taken profits because you had this green, bright green uptrend candle print here. Did we tap it again? I think we did tap it again. Yeah, we're actually coming up to it now, right? So we're coming back to this great short if you took a short here. And notice how we didn't get a bright green down here. So we still haven't had our bright green monthly candle, which worries me a little bit. And we've come back up to our resistance. Now, of course, we still don't have a daily candle close. So this is for 8 hours. But we do have a buy signal here. But again, forget about the buy signals and the sell signals. It's more about the resistance level. This could be a buy signal and confirm. So let's say we get another 4 hourly, another 4 hourly, another 4 hourly. Then we're going to have a daily candle above this moving average here, which would be confidence that we are going to move to the upside. But for now, if we look at history, we know that every time we've come up to this level, we have been rejected and we have come back down, right? Even when the 4 hourly candles have closed above briefly, I look at it like it's trying to fight the resistance level. It's trying to get above. The USA is in a wake right now as well. So bear in mind that liquidity is low and the USA are probably going to wake up in the next 3-4 hours. And when they wake up, are they going to take some profits off the table? Are they going to buy the pump? We don't know. We just know there's a lot. Liquidity is low right now. So let's see how it plays out. Am I interested in long in here? Absolutely not. Every time we've come back to this level, we've been rejected. The RSI on the 4 hourly time frame is starting to become overbought. Here, what do we see? RSI was overbought. What do we see when we came back here last time? RSI was overbought. We also don't see the green buy pressure. Now, I didn't talk about that on this video, but notice the last time we bought here, this is where we started to take some long positions around 77K. I think we long Solana down here. Solana was like $102 or $101. Notice how we had insane buy pressure here. So you see these green bars down here. So we had loads of confluence. We're at the SMC weekly time frame. We had the RSI was oversold, and we had our green buy pressure down here. But we don't have that buy pressure so far. We haven't had that buy pressure that's kind of indicated that we've reached the bottom yet, which is more confluence that we are going to come back down to these levels down here. We might even trickle sideways and come over here. The longer we go sideways, the higher the floor is going to be, right? So yeah, more confluence. And even on the 4 hourly time frame, I don't see those green bars here. So notice how we had the green buy pressure here, and then we pushed up. I don't see those green bars here, and the RSI was actually oversold here. So we didn't really have that bottoming signal, and we didn't get our green uptrend signal on the 4 hourly time frame either as well, right? So I'm a bit cautious here. Above this level, if we do push up, we have huge resistance here. So I think this is where the daily SMC is going to be resistance, which is the final boss resistance. The 4 hourly, it's really nice in a downtrend. Like if you know you're in a downtrend, it's great for short entries, right? I mean, you know, could have taken a short here and absolutely made a killing. Could have taken a short here, made a killing. Could have taken a short here, made a killing. It's great in downtrends, but the daily is great for final boss resistance, where sometimes price does revert back to when we eventually switch trend. And then if we push through 112.4, we then have more resistance, much bigger resistance at 113, 114. So as you know, I'm not really interested in this. We don't have the signals that we've bottomed here. We have this death candle here that's on the cards, which happened very soon, probably. You know, if we are repeating this kind of pullback here, the candle kind of happened. These are probably going to cross maybe even this week, guys. So we might see a big sell-off this week potentially. And I'm looking for these green bars at the bottom. I'm looking for these green bars to come up. I'm looking for the RSI to be completely oversold. I'm looking for some sort of level of support. And this is where I'm interested in taking my very, very big trade. It's a very easy trade here because I can just set my stop loss down here somewhere or set my stop loss down here. And, I'm expecting accumulation, buy pressure, probably loads of scare the market out news, bearish news headlines. A lot of people flipping bearish on socials. Fear and greed reaches maybe extreme fear or fear, and hopefully we can push to the upside. But either way, it's an A or B trade. Would I trade this with no stop loss? Absolutely not. I would take a stop loss so I can only lose a small amount if I'm wrong. And that's the way I look at every trade, guys. This might be wrong, right? And can I afford to lose this trade? I am going to take a big trade either way, right? If we lose support or hold up a support, I am going to take a big trade because I think this is going to be a very, very nice setup. It takes such a long time to get back to these levels. This was where we made our very big trade. It was September 24, and most of the gains were made, 2 months later, September, October, November, so 2 or 3 months later. And then we had to wait, so from December to April, May, so 4 or 5 months before the next big trade setup, right? So you have to be really patient sometimes for these trade setups, but when they land, it can be life-changing. I actually took profits on this move way too early, but I still made, over $100,000 just by waiting for this level to be hit, waiting for all the signals, waiting for this green buy pressure, waiting for the RSI to become oversold. Patience is key here. Where are we now? We're in the middle of a range, right? You're not at support, you're not at resistance. So, why on earth would I take a very big long position here? Why would I take a big short position here? I'm just trading levels, right? You're in the middle of no man's land. Your chances of making a loss here are insane. Don't forget what they done last cycle. They rugged it. Everyone went short, and then they pumped it back up, and then they rugged it again, right? They literally flushed out all of the longs and all of the shorts. So for me, patience is king, and just waiting for that resistance level. What trades am I in now? So I'm in a WLFI short, World Liberty Finance. I mean, that was a no-brainer, right? I don't know who on earth was buying that crap. That's been tanking. I think it's probably going to continue to tank. The market cap is insane. I've already taken some profits off the table. Would I get into a short here? Probably not. Short pumps, long dumps. Again, it's in the middle of no man's land. It came down to about 0.20, and it's in the middle of a range right now, right? So I would rather short pumps. Maybe you get a double top. Maybe you get a retest of resistance. YZY, of course, I talked about this ages ago. Big ups if you caught that, guys. I said, YZY from the future, thank me later. And that's just been absolutely tanking. So I'm 186% up on this. I've already taken some profits off the table, but I'm leaving the rest open because I do think this is going to come down 95% over time. So I'm just leaving it over for fun now, really. I can't lose. I've already won, and I do think it's going to collapse over time, so I'm just going to leave it open and see if it does come down 95%. These were posted publicly as well, guys, so you didn't even need to be in my paid group to see this stuff. So don't forget to come and follow my ex if you want to see what trades I'm taking. Click this link here, or search this name on Twitter. If you want to see my buy and sell alerts, so if you want to see what trades I'm taking, all my trade setups, then click this link here. That will take you to my Patreon. You'll see a link there to join us, and you can actually get this SMC bot in your own trading view as well, so you don't need the paid trading view. It works inside a free trading view. It snaps to grid, whatever altcoins you're looking at, whatever tokens you're looking at, it will snap to grid, and you can see it works on stocks as well. It works really well on stocks. I would use it on the weekly time frame on stocks because crypto moves so fast. We're kind of forced to use daily and 4 hourly, but weekly for stocks is great because it just moves a lot slower, and some of the weekly buys on stocks have been crazy. I mean, look at Palantir. Palantir on the weekly time frame, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't think we've had a sell signal. No. So it gave a buy signal on Palantir at $8, and the price today is what's the price today? It went up to $190, which is insane. So a 19x, and it also helps you, right? Because let's say you took that buy signal on Palantir, and you're like, oh, I'm up so much money because it's doubled in price in a short amount of time, you know that the trend is your friend until the end, and the SMC bot, this is resistance. So, you know, what I would have been doing in this situation is actually adding to my position. I wouldn't have been taking profits. I would have said, look, as soon as we break this bull run trend line, I'm gonna get out and take profits, but the trend is your friend until the end. So every time we come back to this weekly time frame, I would have taken a long position or added to my position. I would have printed, I would have added or taken a long position, I would have printed, and then look, the price just kept going up and up. So bear in mind, let's say I bought it at $8. It's now $80. I've made a 10x, right? My 10K is now 100K. I'm panicking. Should I sell? Should I dump? I don't know what to do. The bot helps me snap out of that, and it just says, look, until we break this green trend line, you're in an uptrend until the end. And look how price came back to this exact T. So we had a yellow candle here for a downtrend, $125, and it came straight back to the weekly. This is where I would have longed and added to my position, and again, it just completely continued to rally. So, you know, the SMC bot not only would have helped me buy Palantir, but it would have helped me add to my position and not panic and take longs. And this is what I would do if let's say I did buy Palantir. Let's say I did buy Palantir and I was just riding this up. This green line here is going to continue to ride up. It's going to continue to ride up. At some point, this is going to break, and the trend is your friend until the end, right? It's going to become resistance, and then as soon as it breaks, I'm out, right? As soon as we're going to get a weekly sell on Palantir. By the way, I'm actually going to short Palantir when we get that signal, and then it's going to start to roll over like this, and then once it breaks through, this is where I would add to my short positions, right? So when it flips, then I would add to my short position. I would add to my short position. I would add to my short position as it comes down, or open up new shorts. Maybe I take profits and then I open up new shorts, and I take profits and open up new shorts. So that's kind of what I'm looking for Palantir. This bot is phenomenal for stocks. It's really good. We only literally just started to get into stocks, but I've been analyzing many stocks on the weekly time frame for over a year or so now. And it's great. It's maybe even better in stocks than it is for crypto. And I can't wait to trade this. I can't wait to trade this in the next cycle for stocks. I mean, even Nvidia as well. I think it pretty much called the bottom on Nvidia. Let's have a look here. So yeah, phenomenal. Not only did it call the bottom on Nvidia, it pretty much called the bear market. So it gave a sell at $23 and it came down to $10. So, you know, that's a 50% correction. But, you know, life-changing if you also took a short position there. And then you're panicking, you're in a bear market, you're like, what do I do? Is it going lower? And then you get the buy signal and it snaps you out of that fear and that, what should I do? Are we going lower? It snaps you out of that. You flip position, maybe you take profits on your shorts, and you take the buy, and then it gave the buy signal around $16, which, you know, the rest is history, right? Absolutely life-changing, and continued to rally to the upside. $16 all the way up to $180, right? Absolutely ridiculous. We did have a bit of a flop here, so, you know, it gave a sell signal. Technically, the price did come down quite a lot, to be fair. It gave a sell signal at 121. Price came down to 86, so you're not going to be disappointed if you took a short position there. And then it gave this buy signal again, and the price continued to rally. So really good. Look at the retest here. Look, exactly back to the SMC weekly for a retest, and then push to the upside. So, you know, even if you're trading and if you took a long there, you know, absolutely printed. This is if you want this bot, so you can get it from my ex. You can see my trade setups. You can see what stocks I'm buying. I should have some calls here somewhere. Yeah, you can see like the trades I'm taking, some of the trade setups I'm doing. Here's what I posted on BTC back in February. It's crazy because BTC actually ended up doing that exact move. I posted saying it's going to come down here and bounce off this level. You can see, look, I said it's going to come down here and bounce off this level and then push to the upside and get rejected. And then it pushed to the upside and got rejected. It's crazy how that lined up. So yeah, if you want to join us, you want to get involved, head over to my ex. You can see the link there. Don't forget, none of the information in this video is financial advice, guys. Do your own research. Investing in crypto or investing in anything is highly risky. You can lose all of your money investing in anything. I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research. Let me know what you're doing. I can reply to comments on X. So if you want to get involved in chats and stuff and discuss stuff, comment on my X posts, and I'll get back to you there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of the latest. Press the bell notification as well on the YouTube video so you can see all of my latest videos. I'm going to keep you guys updated, especially in the bear market, when I start to buy stocks and stuff. I'm going to keep you guys updated with what I'm doing, my portfolio, my strategy. I'm just trying to make a 10x each cycle. I'm not trying to make a 100x or a 50x. Just slow and steady wins the race. And once my portfolio reaches a 10x, I will sell early. I've got no issues with taking profits off the table early. I think this cycle I did get a bit greedy. I started to take profits when my portfolio on average was about 14x. So, I did get a little bit greedy, but hey, the market looked good at the time, and we had BlackRock getting into the market. We had an ETF come in for Bitcoin. It was, it was kind of obvious that the market was a lot safer. But yeah, I'm only really trying to make a 10x each cycle. The way I look at stocks is, can I make a 10x off this? No, well, I'm not buying it, right? I'm not going to buy Nvidia, for example. I'm not going to buy Palantir. Unless it has a 60% correction or a 70% correction, that would be great, right? So that's kind of a nice position to be in as well, because if you're not going to buy Nvidia or Palantir because the price is overvalued, then that puts you in a position where you can hold for a correction. If you do get blessed with a crash, happy days, right? That's also helped you wait. But I'm looking at stocks that I think can at least 10x. Let's say at least 10x, because there's some stocks we've bought that I think are going to 50x. They are high risk, but I think they're going to 50x over the next 4 years. Happy days. And sometimes you need these 50x's to average out your portfolio, right? I think I bought Inge, and I think it done a 5x or something terrible. And my Casper done a 25x, right? My Render done a 25x. So it doesn't matter. Everything doesn't have to hit 10x as long as you're averaging out at 10x. Your portfolio is averaging out. This is why we diversify and split into loads of different sectors, right? And split out the money. And some things might do 100x, right? Some of the quantum buys I bought might do 100x. Fantastic. Imagine if one of my quantum buys does 100x or a 200x, which it's on the cards, right? It definitely could in terms of market cap size, especially when you compare these things to Nvidia. Some of them are 1,000x smaller than Nvidia at the moment. So when you compare some of them to Nvidia, if it does a 200x or 300x, maybe the rest of my portfolio can fail, right? Because I've diversified and split into different assets. So it's about, the more you diversify, the more odds, the lower odds you've got of actually getting wrecked, as opposed to just going into a handful of assets. Again, guys, not financial advice. Do your own research. That's it for now, guys. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.